Critical fire danger today, whipping winds this weekend and some rain and snow to top it all off. It's officially springtime in Colorado. Lauren Boebert wins big with Republican insiders, even as an outsider in a new district. Former inmates are putting their skills they learned behind bars to good use by getting behind the chair at a Denver barbershop.
Don't let your felony be an excuse. You know, you can do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to it.
And we end the week the way we always do, setting out to find the good news going on across Colorado, because this is next.
If you've got outdoor plans this weekend, maybe you'll want to bring them indoor. Colorado's in for a little bit of everything this weekend: fire danger, snow and rain, and the strongest winds the Front Range as well as the foothills have seen in years. The eastern half of the state is still under a red flag warning, and we're keeping an eye on 2 fires burning near Pueblo. Evacuation orders are in place for what officials there are calling the Vision Hill Fire, just northeast of Pueblo. Deputies say the fire has burned 52 acres and is 20% contained so far. No buildings or structures have been damaged at this current time. And another fire is going at Ivras Steel, not far from I-25 in Pueblo. The Pueblo County Sheriff's Office is warning some homeowners in the nearby Salt Creek neighborhood to be prepared to evacuate. And tomorrow, the story will be the winds. Red Rocks has already canceled or postponed concerts for Saturday and Sunday, and we're expecting winds to top 60 miles per hour in the Denver metro area and even higher in the foothills. Here's Kathy with more.
Thanks so much. We are tracking a powerful but fast-moving storm system that's crossing Colorado. High pressure are dominant features beginning to slide east in response to this area of low pressure coming in. But the gradient is so tight. We have high fire danger today with a red flag warning in effect. That's going to be replaced by a high wind warning tomorrow. Now, there may be occasional rain and snow showers over the next 48 hours or so, but the big story will be the wind. That red flag warning means gusts to 50 miles per hour tonight with humidity values to 8%. Tomorrow in the foothills, we could see wind gusts to 80 miles per hour or higher, and that could mean down trees and down power lines. We'll be monitoring this very carefully because as this storm system begins to track off to the east, the wraparound moisture could produce a few showers, even a thunderstorm in northeastern Colorado. Much more on that weekend forecast coming up.
A big win today for Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. Her name will be the first that voters see on the Republican primary ballot for the 4th Congressional District. And a like-minded candidate that could challenge her is no longer in the race. Politics guy Marshall Zellinger is here back from Pueblo, where party insiders made some significant decisions this afternoon.
Angeline, those decisions benefit Boebert. There are 3 steps for Boebert to have the best chance possible to stay in Congress and win the seat being vacated by Republican Congressman Ken Buck. And she checked 2 of those off this afternoon.
The designee from the Assembly is Lauren Boebert.
It's been quite the week for Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. She underwent emergency surgery for a blood clot on Tuesday. This afternoon, she earned the most support at the 4th Congressional District Assembly to be the first name on the Republican primary ballot on June 25th.
And I promised you that I was not going to treat this as a coronation, as something that was owed to me.
There are 2 ways to qualify for the ballot for Congress in Colorado. Earn 30% or more support at an assembly like this, or collect 1,500 valid Republican signatures from the district and submit the petition. Boebert actually did both. Former state lawmaker Ted Harvey is the only candidate who put all his effort in the assembly.
I am not petitioning on every candidate you're going to see today, and the candidates you won't see today, every one of them petitioned on. I am the only one that did not.
And he is not on the ballot. Harvey failed to get enough assembly support to qualify. That's more good news for Boebert, as Harvey is someone who might have challenged her from the farther right. Logan County Commissioner Jerry Sonnenberg and State Representative Richard Holtorf both turned in petitions and showed up at the assembly. They both failed to get enough support to qualify today, but their petitions can still count if they turned in enough valid signatures, which the Colorado Secretary of State has not yet determined. Former conservative talk radio host Deborah Flora already qualified for the ballot with enough signatures, so we know she is in along with Boebert. 6 candidates are waiting to find out if their signatures were sufficient. Sonnenberg, Holtorf, State Representative Mike Lynch, Chris Phelan, Peter Yu, and Floyd Trujillo. I started by saying Boebert has 3 steps for the best chance of winning. Step 1, be the first name. She is. Step 2, keep Harvey out of the race. Step 3 would be have as large of a candidate field as possible. The more people in the race, the more significant her name recognition will be. Right now, there are 2 candidates qualified, Boebert and Flora. It's possible, maybe not likely, that the other 6 make it. So it's as large as 8, which would be really good for Boebert. But we'll see by the end of the month, we'll know somewhere between 2 and 8.
It's all about strategy, right? Like, it's not just about getting on the ballot. It's about, like, the strategy to get
Yeah,
there.
she took a risk showing up to the assembly because if she didn't get 10% of the support, she got 40%. But if she didn't get 10%, it didn't matter that she turned her signatures in. They wouldn't have been able to count, and she was done. That could have been breaking news today. If she got so little support, we would have known today she's done. Instead, she got the most support, and her campaign is starting to take off.
See, this is why I call you when I have a politics question. Or text you.
Both my phones are with me right now.
Thanks so much, Marshall. Colorado lawmakers have approved the largest budget in state history, $40 billion worth of a budget. It includes historic investments in public schools and millions of additional funding for schools serving migrant students. The budget includes $24 million in one-time funding for schools who have enrolled migrant kids after this year's October count day, which the state uses to decide how much funding each district gets. This funding is being pulled from excess tax revenue, but even still, it's not as much as schools would normally receive per student. Districts like Denver, who have received hundreds or thousands of migrant students since the beginning of the school year, would get the most funding. But of the bill sponsors, Denver Democratic Representative Emily Sirota says the money will help schools across the state.
They've had this very large influx of new to country kids after this October count that they are still legally required to provide access to public education for. Whether we're talking about Front Range districts or even some of our smaller districts in our mountain towns, they are seeing similar challenges.
This year's budget will also be the first to fully fund public education, ending a decade-long shortfall. Lawmakers are already pushing to increase school funding for next school year. They're also proposing spending about $400 more per student. And we want to say a quick thanks for all that you've done this week to support a one-of-a-kind cafe serving up more than just food. Your word of thanks donations have raised $10,000 and counting this week, not to mention the 2,000 people who have signed up for recurring giving. Here's Kyle with an update.
There's a spot on East Colfax where anybody can pop in for a meal and pay if they can, but if they can't, that's okay too. It's Same Cafe, so all may eat. And they're the recipient of this week's Word of Thanks micro giving. Same Cafe allows everyone to participate for their healthy, nutritious meal, whether that's kicking in a few bucks or donating produce or working a shift in the kitchen. And that's where this nonprofit really shines, because those kitchen hours can double as culinary workforce training, so that folks who are struggling can help build some skills that can allow them to go out and get and keep a job. It is a wonderful and unique concept that I think is worth our support. Text the word thanks to 303-871-1491 or scan the QR code on your screen to join me and a bunch of other Coloradans in supporting the work done here on East Colfax by Same Cafe, so all may eat.
I knew that you don't discount someone that's been incarcerated. They'll do anything to prove how great they are.
A barbershop in Denver is hiring people from prison. The owner wants to convince you, why go to them rather than a traditionally trained barber? And a new community park opens in Southwest Denver. It's the perfect place for our favorite Friday question. What's your good news?
We had a windy and warm day today with temperatures 15 degrees above average in the mid-70s. But the big story is the wind continuing to increase out of the south ahead of a powerful weekend storm that will be here in the morning. Winds out of the south already coming in at 30 to 40 miles per hour. Some of those gusts over the higher passes are even higher than that. So elevated fire danger, critical fire weather with a red flag warning in effect, gusts to 50 possible tonight, humidity values into the single digits. Then then tomorrow we flip over to a high wind warning, Denver included in this, but the foothill areas could see gusts to 80 and 90 miles per hour, which could bring down trees and power lines. The wind gust forecast will show those winds will slowly start to ramp up as we move through the overnight time period. And on the backside of this area of low pressure, we could be looking at a few thunderstorms and a rumble of thunder, maybe even some rain showers over northeastern Colorado. As the high begins to move away and the low slides in, the gradient will ease as we get through the late day time period tomorrow. There's the chance for a few rain and snow showers around the area tomorrow, but not looking at accumulating snow here in Denver. It certainly will be a cooler day, though, with temperatures in the low 50s to start. And as we kind of move through the evening, temperatures will stay very warm right into the 8 o'clock time period. We have highs in the 50s for the weekend, rain and snow showers Saturday, a drier period for Sunday and Monday ahead of the next storm system we're tracking on Tuesday afternoon, right before we're back into sunshine and 70s for the end of next week.
And one of the hardest things to do when you have a felony is find a job. One Denver barbershop is giving former inmates work, sometimes within just a few days of getting out of prison.
It always makes the barber happy when you say, just do your magic.
The beauty of being a barber is often hearing a customer's story.
I wasn't even supposed to cut hair, man.
For James Kennedy, that beauty comes from sharing his own.
Man, I came from DOC.
James isn't ashamed to share what he's been through.
I did time in prison, 6 years, 6 months on this case.
He spent 3 years of that cutting hair in prison.
We have to do everything unconventional because we don't have shears and straight razors in prison.
He hopes the conversations that happen in his chair change how people see him.
It's extremely important that how you approach that conversation, to help them understand that, hey, it's okay. It's things that's happened, things happen to everybody. This is how, this is an opportunity for them to see it a little bit differently.
James was worried before getting this job about getting a chance like this.
You always have that fear of being judged and, that fear of not being able to get an opportunity doing something to one day be successful because of your criminal history. So that's something that definitely is always a concern for people like me.
A concern viewed by some is a chance extended by others.
When you give somebody that's formerly incarcerated a chance, that's all they need. Just show me you believe in me, give me a chance, and I will blow you away.
James Repenning is the founder of R&R Head Labs. The inspiration came from a moment he had in his 20s.
I was running a recycling company, and I hired an operator named Angelo. I interviewed him on the first day. I loved him. My wife loved him. My dog loved him. And then the next day I called to hire him, and he said, okay, thank you, that's great. I just think there's something you need to know about me before you hire me. I murdered my best friend when I was 18, and I've been in prison for the last 25 years. From that point forward, I knew that you don't discount someone that's been incarcerated. They'll do anything to prove how great they are.
The operations manager here knows how important it is to have just one person believe in you.
Over 15 years ago, I was incarcerated and came out.
Deb Ramirez got her cosmetology license in prison.
You're almost set here.
Absolutely, it gives them hope that somebody with a record, somebody with a past, somebody who's been there, I can relate. Don't let your felony be an excuse. You can do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to it.
She's definitely a poster child, so to speak, for people like us coming out, showing that we can do it.
What Deb did 15 years ago is where James is starting. He just got out in February.
I do feel like there's hope for myself.
In the next year, he hopes to get his license.
I'm thinking, man, probably within the next year, man, I should be pretty comfortable with all that stuff.
By then, there will be more people in his chair, more conversations, and he hopes more understanding.
I believe in us being able to right our wrongs. And obviously, I get why society feels a certain way about people like us. But there is another way, though. There is something that can be done about that. Hopefully you come back.
Something else they say is a big positive is that former inmates who did hair in prison, they know how to cut all kinds of hair types, which isn't always the case with more traditionally trained barbers.
It's cool. It's a place where you can get your emotions out.
And let's celebrate those emotions, especially the good ones. We end the week the way we always do, with your good news next. A new park in Southwest Denver officially opened today. It has it all: a skate park, a basketball hoop, and plenty of people to answer our very favorite question: what is your good news?
It's really just really good looking infrastructure, but it's the people that make the place, right? I'm really just excited to see the kids' faces from school as they let out. This is just a space right now till the kids come. My good news is really sitting on this bench today. This idea to even have this setting came from a young girl and say, hey, I would like a swing just like when I sit on the porch, just to hang out with my friends.
My good news is that I get to hang out with one of my friends that I haven't been hanging out with like in a long time, and I got to hang out with him today.
My good news is today I got amazing grades. School was pretty fun, and just had an amazing day.
My good news is that people have stopped their violence in Westwood. It's got a lot better than how it used to be.
My good news about this park is it creates positivity around the neighborhood for more fun and adventure for young kids.
It's the laughing, it's the joy, it's the scraping of the knees and the hands.
My good news is that we take care of our community and we all like work together. You can like skate, play basketball, sit down, think about life.
They have more skating skills than I do. If you want to show off some tricks or just check out the new park, it's at Kentucky Avenue and Irving Street in the Westwood neighborhood. And we're back with the least Colorado thing we saw today: a Rockies win. Next. The most Colorado thing that we saw today is that the Colorado Rockies blew a lead. It was opening day at Coors Field, excitement all around, even for a team with low expectations. The Rockies had a 6-2 lead in the 9th inning and gave up 5 runs. An error from third baseman Ryan McMahon gave the Rays the lead, and then just minutes later, something very unusual, something we don't expect from the Rockies.
And Matt lifts his ball high and deep to right. How about a walk-off granny?
That is how the Rockies ended their season opener at Coors, with a walk-off grand slam from McMahon and fireworks. And now you guys might think that I'm wearing purple for the Rockies. I'm not from Colorado. I'm not even a baseball fan. This is coincidence, or at least that's what I'm saying, because not a Rockies fan. But thanks so much for joining us, and see you next time here at Next.